Welcome to the Journey to Home Ownership with Golden State Finance Authority and The Power Is Now TV. My name is Carolyn Sunseri. I'm the Director of Marketing with GSFA, and with me today is my co-host and friend, Eric Frazier, President and CEO of The Power Is Now Media. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Carolyn. And again, I cannot thank you enough for this partnership with The Power Is Now. Reading the stories of first-time home buyers who have been able to utilize down payment assistance with the Golden State Finance Authority has been, I know for lack of a better word, it's been inspirational to me just to hear their stories. And I know it has been for the audience.
Well, let me tell you who our guest is today. Our guests today are Tia and Toulue Thao in Sacramento, California. This lovely couple started out as high school sweethearts. They married shortly after high school and raised a son who is now 18. And in the summer of 2020, in the midst of a global pandemic, they bought their first home.
Oh my God. You know, buying a house during the pandemic was really very challenging for most people. In fact, I mean, real estate sales were down significantly because of all the regulations and the rules just to even see a house. So I can't wait to hear their story.
I absolutely agree, Eric. So Tia and Toulue, welcome to the Journey to Home Ownership.
Hi, thank you for having us.
How's it going?
Well, congratulations first on becoming a new homeowner. I know it's been about 3 years, but this has got to be one of the most exciting things that has occurred in your lives. So what has this meant to you on a personal level?
Ownership has been a blessing for us and our family. It's just, you know, a dream come true for us, being able to have a home, and especially for me, having a garage, being able to, you know, wash my car, do some oil changes. So it's been actually great to have a home, and it's been a blessing, especially having family over for gatherings.
Yeah, and I think for me, you know, it's just that peace of mind, financially knowing that, you know, we have something that's ours that's going to grow, equity, and that, you know, further down the road, whether the market is influenced by anything, we'll have like a set mortgage that we, you know, will pay month to month. And like Toulue said, just mostly having a space, you know, that is our own, that we can have family gatherings, you know, having our own home. We've been able to get a dog, and so that's been such a wonderful blessing for our family.
Being a homeowner is a dream, has always been a dream for us, and we feel very blessed. I know there's tough times, but we've been very blessed to be able to be homeowners.
It's great to hear that. Where are you guys from originally, and how did you meet actually?
So I was born and raised in Sacramento, California. We met in high school, and we have one son, one child. It's a son. He's 18 years old, and I work for a trucking company. I do a lot of procedure training, and most of the time I do a lot of traveling to help out and train. A lot of claims prevention.
So I am a first generation immigrant. So I have my bachelor's in business admin and my master's in accountancy. And so I am an auditor. So I too travel for work.
So it sounds like having a place where you can bring over the family, extended family, and get together is very nice for the both of you if you travel a lot for work.
We got the dog maybe about a month after moving in. Yeah, so we've never had the opportunity to own a dog because we've always been in an apartment. And so now that we finally have like a backyard for, you know, the dog to run around in, and, you know, my son has his own room and everything, it's, you know, we decided to get a dog, and he's a little miniature poodle. He's so cute and super, super, super spoiled.
So what made you buy the house when you did?
We decided to buy, we had already started planning on purchasing a home because it's always been something we wanted to do. But when the pandemic started, we saw that the interest rates were just, dropping. And that was our biggest influencer, was the low interest rates. And so we didn't feel that we were quite ready, but we decided we'll just reach out to a lender and just kind of see where we stand. And so thankfully, when we contacted the lender, he said that we were, more than ready to purchase a home. And so we decided just to kind of move along with the home purchasing journey.
It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's 1,400 square foot. It's about almost a quarter of an acre. What we love about it is the backyard. Has a pool, so our families and friends are able to come over during the summertime. About the first 2 years, we lived with our parents when we first got married, and then probably maybe 15 to 13 years now we were renting, and before we bought the house.
And it sounds like, Tia, you felt that you guys were ready. Did that mean that you had been saving up to buy a home?
Yes, we had been saving. We were doing all of that saving, working on our credits. I think it was just the uncertainty of what we truly needed to qualify for a home that kind of prevented us from really making that jump.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we're going to take a short break. Please stay with us. You are watching the Journey to Homeownership series with Golden State Finance Authority and the Power Is Now Media. We will be right back.
The Power Is Now magazines are the leading resource for real estate agents, mortgage bankers, entrepreneurs, and small homeownership businesses, providing leaders with business strategy information, resources, and tools through PIN, real estate, programming guide magazines. Stay up to the minute with real estate news and information from industry experts. Subscription is free. Sign up today. thepowerisnow.com. thepowerisnow.com.
For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Journey to Homeownership series with Golden State Finance Authority and the Power Is Now TV network. Let's continue our conversation with Tia and Toulue Thao, new homeowners in Sacramento, California. I want to ask some questions about the actual mortgage and financing that you received when you made this home purchase. So tell me, how much money were you able to put down on your home purchase?
We contributed, I believe, just a little bit over $20,000 into the closing costs and the down payment. On a monthly basis, we were putting anywhere between $200 to $400 a month. And then anytime we had a windfall, we would just kind of put it away.
That's wonderful. It definitely will help if someone has the ability to put some savings together. But as you know, not everybody has the ability to do that. Rents are so high in California. And so you were able to access a down payment assistance program through Golden State Finance Authority. The name of that program was the GSFA Platinum Program. How did you hear about this program?
We heard it through our lender. We were actually in the process of just checking to see how we look on getting a home. And he had told us that we were able to get qualify for a GSF loan, and they were able to assist us to about $18,000. So that really helped us jumpstart making us get closer to getting our house.
Absolutely. I mean, today we don't need to come into a home purchase with 20% down like generations in the past did, but it still takes 3 to 4% of our own funds or money to come in with the down payment required. And so you had about 20,000, and then GSFA provided another 18,000 to help you purchase this home. I believe that the purchase price on the home was around $465,000. Does that sound right?
Yes. That's correct.
Okay, and it's here in Sacramento. At the time, you were able to get very low interest rates. I think it was around 3.125%.
Yes.
Sound right? And then the assistance that you got through the GSFA Down Payment Assistance Program at the time was in the form of a forgivable second mortgage. So GSFA loaned you an additional $18,000, but there was no interest on that money. And it was forgiven if you stayed in the home for 3 years. Is my memory correct?
Yes. When we heard about that, if all we had to do was stay there for 3 years, it would be a forgivable loan. It really helped us get to where we wanted to be. So we kind of jumped on that, and it was a great opportunity for us to have that program available for us. I think we're both very, very fortunate to be able to get onto that program when it was available for us.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a no-brainer, it was presented to us in the form of a grant. So we kind of knew, as long as we met the 3-year requirement that it was going to be forgiven. Essentially, you can kind of think of it as like just free money,
Yeah, it was forgiven after 3 years. Now, not all of the down payment assistance programs that we offer are forgiven, or the down payment portion forgiven after 3 years. It just depends on how the housing market is and what kind of programs we can provide. However, at that point, this was definitely a very attractive feature. You didn't have any interest on the money that was provided to you, and it was forgiven after 3 years, which means it's probably around right now. It's been forgiven.
Yes.
Wonderful. So $20,000 of your own money, $18,000 of GSFA's money to put you into this home, and the home itself was $465,000. The loan that you got was $451,000. Do you know what the home is worth today?
It's about $570,000 was the last time we checked and to see what the value was.
But to achieve $100,000 in equity in 3 years, and to have received help of $18,000 in down payment assistance, that's pretty amazing. What was your net worth prior to buying the house? I mean, essentially, with the assets you have and the debt you had. And you're an accountant, Tia, so you know what net worth means, right?
Pretty much just what we had in our savings account, what we were saving up for a rainy day and for the down payment of the future home.
So I was saying that being that your net worth was very little, now 3 years later, your net worth is over 100,000 plus whatever monies you've been able to save. And had you just tried to save your way, do you think you would have accumulated $100,000 over the last 3 years based on what you were able to put away versus buying a home?
No, we were going to try and save another about 20,000 and be ready to buy in 2 or 3 years. Actually buying the house 3 years ago, we've actually gained 100,000 versus what we were going to try to save up an extra 20,000 to what we already had to try and buy a home. So we've been happily in a home for 3 years versus trying to save for 3 years and now trying to find a home.
And that just shows the power of homeownership. It is still the primary driver for building wealth.
Now, I know that we're in a different market today. Home prices have leveled out a lot, which means they're not increasing dramatically if you are out there purchasing a home, but interest rates have risen. So there's always a trade-off. But one of the things I keep hearing from you guys is that there wasn't any hesitation. You took a leap. You took a leap of faith that this was a good financial move. Tell me more about how you came to that conclusion and moved yourself into a place of discomfort, because buying a home is stressful, and being in a pandemic while doing it is even more uncertainty.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot of uncertainties. I had just been offered a new job. And so there was uncertainty with employment as well. We weren't sure if I was going to have a job. They had called me and said they weren't sure if there was going to be work, but if I wanted to, I could move forward with employment. So there was uncertainty in, my job, and then with the economy as well. But I think speaking with the lender and just kind of knowing where we were and knowing that we had already been preparing for home ownership, adjusting our finances to fit, a mortgage, and then being able to have the grant on top of it. Just really, it was, we didn't really have to think much about it. We just kind of knew that it was just the perfect time to purchase.
So if you were talking to someone in our audience today who's thinking about buying a home or maybe hesitating, but they know that, that they should talk to a lender, what advice would you give them?
I would say, jump in there, figure it out, and see where you stand or where you're at with a lender. There are programs out there such as a GSF loan or a program that will actually help. We didn't know that before we try to figure out what we're going to get until we found out that there is programs to help us. So I would say just jump in there, try to find out, and then see what programs out there to help you out. And
yeah, I agree. You just never having purchased a home before, you just don't really know everything that is available to you or what it is that you really need to get into a home. And I've read so many articles, watched so many YouTube clips, and, you're stuck on that 20% or 3%, with the FHA. But I think just speaking with an expert, they'll be able to guide you. If you're qualified, then, that's great. You can purchase a home, but if not, at least the professionals can kind of get you in the right direction and get you ready or move you forward towards that home purchasing.
That was a great point, because not everyone, when they speak to a lender, finds out that today they are ready to purchase. Sometimes it means that they need to work on some credit issues. Maybe they need to make some more financial adjustments to be able to handle the mortgage. Maybe it's looking at the amount of debts that they have outstanding. And a lender is your source of information on programs available, on what's required, and can give them tips and help them to get prepared. But if you don't make that first call and you don't sit down and talk to a lender, then you're just guessing. And it sounds like you guys weren't guessing. You were like, let's find out where we are, what is available to us, and then you made or took action. I want to thank you both for coming today, because your positive mindset and determination about becoming homeowners, it really shines. And that is very inspirational for anyone who's looking to buy a home as one of the financial goals in their life.
Tia and Toulue, thank you also for taking the time to share your story. The Golden State Finance Authority has put thousands of people into homes, and changes happen all the time. When you bought, interest rates were 3%. Today, now they're in the 6% range. When you bought, it was a grant forgiven in 3 years. Today, it is not a grant, and they have to make payments until it's repaid, depending on the program. There are details, folks. Again, go to the gsfa.home.org to get the details on the various programs they have to offer. But I want to ask you, if you were to do it all over again today, and you had to, say, pay back the money, and you had to buy maybe at a slightly higher interest rate, would you still make that decision? Because people are having to make that decision now with completely different terms and higher interest rates.
Yes, knowing what I know now, going then or now, I would still try to get into the program and find out whatever is available for me or what we qualify for. Home ownership is it's a big accomplishment.
Well, I thank you so much for saying that. And I certainly hope those who are watching or listening are hearing you. Now is the time. The power really is now to buy. Interest rates are going to change. And so you can always have an opportunity, hopefully in the future. No one knows the future, to refinance. But if you're in a position to buy now, you absolutely should. Carolyn, this has been another great show. And Tia and Toulue, thank you for being a part of the journey to homeownership with the Golden State Finance Authority.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, everyone, that's it for our show today. Thank you for joining us. And remember, if you or someone you know is considering buying a home, we hope that you will find out if down payment assistance from Golden State Finance Authority will be the key to help you achieve that dream. And if you want to learn more about the programs or get in contact with one of our participating lenders, visit us at gsfahome.org or call toll-free 855-740-8422. And remember, knowledge is power, and the power is now.